So one of the things so we just finished up labor and we're talking about labor, and it's one thing to say, hey guys, you need to schedule, 180 hours instead of 200 hours. And that's easy to say than it is to actually do, right? And the other part of that too is we also want to really be aggressive with cost of goods sold. There's a lot of emotion attached with our employee labor. We have to remember that they have families and rent and jobs and people that they need to take care of. And so we want to really treat how we're handling that labor with kid gloves. But one of the things that we can do to improve labor is with just systems that are outside of scheduling and budgeting. And checklist systems are the most basic systems that restaurants can use to really increase efficiency and make sure that people are on track with their goals. And one of the things about checklists is the biggest, most important thing with checklists is accountability to them. So here, I'm going to go over to Matthew Burnaby and show his. He told me I could share his checklist systems here. I think he was just starting to get into using them too. So you can see here that today, here's one that's been completed. You can see that there's a shift lead opening here that's in progress. They're not all there, but like this one's been completed today. As a manager, if I look at that, you can see that it was his manager Cheyenne went in and took time and temp logs on their refrigeration units, right? If they're outside of a range, it will auto notify anybody you set up to be notified, right? So Matthew's on his honeymoon right now, we talked about, right. And somebody, it could be that another manager or their maintenance person gets notified if a walk-in's out of temp.
So he can enjoy his honeymoon.
Yeah, we also are working with ThermoWorks of also tying in their digital thermometers to the systems where it sends notifications out too. Because right there for them, it's just kind of like emails and things that go out, but to tie it into the system and keep logs of it all is important too. In Canada, you have to have a record of your line checks, all the temperatures of sauces. You have to keep them every day, and so this makes it to where we can go from there and automate it too. So here you start looking at the quotes. Like here's a bathroom closing checklist. Here, if I look at that, it'll show you like he's got it pretty simple in there, all the different questions. If I go, let me go to, I don't want to mess it up. So if I go to QFF here, and I look at these here, I can go like we have these walkthroughs, and these are examples of ones that we put in the system for you. There's a 116 question walkthrough, and this is like a building walkthrough that you could say, hey, I'm going to go do this building walkthrough, and we build this for you. And you don't have to build these. We copy them into your system, and you can just customize them to your parking lot and your thing. But it's everything to spot check your restaurant to make sure. And we have these set up as ratings, so you can get points and rate it. And is the sign in the bathroom clean? Are the mirrors and sink area clean? And then not only what the points are, but what the standard is that you're looking for. And you can walk through on an iPad or a tablet or a phone and do this. I say that because it's Android and Apple devices that it all works on as well. The other thing is if I go to, here we go. Let me go to another page here. And if I go to question examples here, right? So if I look at this, I can inspect this here, and this is an instruction example, and then I can have a check mark as a question. I can have a yes, no question. I can say, which employee. So you can have a drop down of employees on here. This is all can be done on the app. We made it to where it can be done on the tablet though, because if I have a bartender on the phone, it looks like they're texting. So they can pick up any tablet, do a checklist, and then also switch between employees really easily without having to complicated remember my login. I get to switch it from employees really easy. So now it becomes a clipboard system. And what's cool about these is there's accountability built in. So like if the morning bartender checklist isn't done by 10:45 a.m., then the manager and the bartender gets text messages and notifications that, hey, you haven't set up your bartender station. We talked about tying in the POS system where if they clock out and they try to clock out and they haven't done their checklist, right, it'll remind them of all that. Well, that's all in here.
I love that.
And tied together. So, yeah, we also gamify it and do like rankings.
Rankings, what's that?
So like if I go to achievement settings here, this is where it does the gamification of this stuff, because is it really that fun and exciting here? So Brittany's coming here. So we have 328 users in the copper level here. And that's between 0 and 100 points of people doing these here, right? So you can see here, like Katrina's at 90 points, and you can assign a point to a question. So like if you have clean the toilet, maybe that's 5 points. When wipe the mirrors is 1 point. You know what I mean, right? So you can establish different amounts to it. You can see here, here's the top. It's pink star because Brittany loves pink. And so she's the pink star, and there's 2 users. I'm going to bet that Brittany's in here. And you can actually, there's Brittany, and she's got 984 points because we always use her as a example.
So the way this works is as you're going through and you're eliminating tasks, you're getting points for those tasks.
Yes.
So at the end of a shift, you can see who's doing most of the side work.
Yes. Basically. And they can accumulate points, and you can say, hey, once you pass 1,000 points, I'm going to buy you lunch, or different rewards that you can do just to make it fun, and the leaderboard and stuff too. Nice. So, I mean, it's not always exciting stuff too. So the more fun,
maybe
we
it's
can
just
make
a gift card at the end of the month.
Maybe
got the most points.
Exactly. We have people do different stuff where they can do shift meal, shift drinks. You can accumulate them more, and we'll take you out to dinner or whatever. There's different prizes that they can do, or they
so you have your monthly prizes, and then like whoever has the most monthly, like their monthly winners at the end of the year,
exactly
gets a vacation.
Yep. So those are cool things that we have in there that's nice to use. So the other part, so that's checklists are one way to create efficiency. The other way to create efficiencies is great training.